Welcome back, everybody, to your favorite podcast.
That was better than Bardo Martinez.
Yeah, shit, man. You think I get a record deal? If you want to know what we think about Bardo Martinez, go listen to the last episode. You'll hear all the fuck about it. Anyways, welcome to the All Gas No Trash. I'm Josh, here today with good buddy Adam.
Yeah, so this is kind of surprising. You came up with the topic for this episode, so we're gonna get to it.
So I'll take it away in a second. We're gonna talk about I don't know if it's a hot take or not, but I guess we'll find out.
Okay.
But anyways, before we get into it, if you guys listening would like to, you can go to Game Rage Magazine on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Game Rage Magazine. Like, comment, subscribe, follow. Additionally, if you like Twitter/X, you can go to Game Rage Mag there because for some reason they don't let you put enough fucking letters in the name. I don't know why. It's pissing me off. Anyways, also, if you want to follow Adam and this show, you can follow him on Instagram at allgasnotrashofficial. All right, so I guess I'll introduce this one since I came up with this idea. And like I said, I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I'm kind of the opinion now that sampling other shit is not fucking creative. It's fucking it's just thievery.
It's laziness at its finest.
Yeah, man, it's bullshit. Because listen, I know we kind of talked about, we tricked everybody thinking we were gonna do that fucking Kendrick Lamar album or whatever. But that fucking Squabble Up song, I can't stop listening to it, and the more I've listened to it, the more I fucking hate it. The more it just pisses me off, because when you really delve into the depth of the song, right? Sure, maybe his lyrics are original creations, right? Like, it's all original. But that fucking, when I hear music, that fucking sample of that song, it's the whole beat of the whole fucking thing. It's to that whole tune. Like, I didn't realize that. I thought it was just during that part, but when you actually listen to it, the tempo, the fucking beats it's the same thing with just a couple little different things thrown in.
Yeah, it's just it's pitched down, it's slowed down.
Yeah,
from the original song, because the song is a little bit more.
It's like a dance song or whatever.
It's like, freestyle. It's freestyle music. It's freestyle music.
That fucking the original song, because obviously I had to download the original song because I want that chick to get fucking credit. Because that's the other. Well, we'll get to that in a second. But
she gets royalties on that.
That's the thing, though. If you're like within because I was reading some shit about this, and I don't know if this applies to her, but there are instances where a lot of artists will sample stuff from people who their label owns because they don't have to pay royalties on that.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if that's owned by them or whatever or not. But then here's the other fucked up part. The artist royalties, most artists don't get shit out of the royalties. Like, they really fucking don't. So it's just legalized thievery, and then the fucking record label's making all the money. And you're getting your little percentage, you're getting your little 5 or 10% or whatever the fuck you get out of it. Which, I guess, okay, that's cool and all, but it's like I said, like you said, it's lazy, and it just, again, when you even look at, like, Kendrick Lamar, like, you look at that album, all the shit is just references to shit. Like, I don't even know if any of this shit's original to begin with at all, if you really start thinking about it.
In what way?
Like, a lot of the lyrics in the songs are like references to other shit. Like, I get it, cool. You're writing songs about whatever, but like, I don't have a fucking example off the top of my head.
Like I'm as Sly Cooper for PS2 or something.
Right, yeah, but it's like, oh, now you're just stealing from fucking Sly Cooper. And like, everyone adores this shit. Everyone just lauds it with fucking respect and honor.
It's like the similes and the metaphors. And, there is a degree of creativity when it comes to the wordplay and mincing words and then mixing up the the phonetics of it.
Right.
Yeah, like where one word sounds like another, and you're able to change the there's fun stuff like that.
Yes, and there is an argument to be made for people who are taking someone else's creation and turning it into something new. That's creativity in and of itself. Okay, yeah, sure, maybe. But I feel like the artists and a lot of because again, they chose that as the single, right? That was like the main song that popped up out of this shit. And I think they did it for a reason because that beat is fucking catchy as shit.
It is, yeah.
You can't get out of your head. Sure, it's smart. But also, man, it's just kind of fucked up. I don't like, and then sampling is in a ton of shit. I mean, it's in like an overwhelming number of like top songs are like have samples and shit. I mean, even if you go back to the day of the what do you call it? Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby sampling basically, or just outright stealing the fucking tune
Under Pressure
to Under Pressure from fucking Queen
and David
Bowie. And I mean, obviously there was a whole like court case about it, and like they sued him and all that shit, which yeah, rightfully so. You fucking basically just stole the straight fucking shit from him. But that's like something in music that I feel like is common, where I don't know if it's that situation where we're getting to the point where, you know how like they say, oh, every idea that's ever been created has already been invented.
Yeah, that's kind of what my counter argument was going to be, is that at some point everything will have been played mostly, right? Unless you play in a weird scale or you do something that's never been thought of before,
which is probably unlikely.
But then again, there's also the fact that a lot of music only sit on a certain amount of chords. Like, you know, the way that they're arranged, it's like A, C, D, or CBA, or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And that's like the arrangement it's always been, because that's where the money is. Like it's pleasant to the ears. It's not like minor chords or something. Like, it's kind of like the same. Maybe that's why it all sounds like the same shit, because we use the same chords over and over again. But anyways, to the point that I was actually making is that, let's say, 100 years into the future or something, everything's more or less been played out. So you would kind of come to that conclusion anyways about people playing the same songs to some degree, right?
Yeah.
That somebody will make a song and think they made something original, and find out that 50 years earlier somebody made something identical, other than the fact that the lyrics are slightly different because the words are, the words are distinguishable from one another. But then also, maybe another counterpoint of why sampling even exists, perhaps, is maybe the music that didn't get its due in the past, as if it were a one-hit wonder, which is entirely possible, or maybe it wasn't. It gets its day one more time, and an artist recognizing the greatness in an artist from previous years that didn't really get their due, and bringing that song back into their fold to chop it up or mix it up and add lyrics to it. Maybe that inspires a whole different generation of people that will become invested in the older artists that not many know about.
That's true. I mean, there is a, what's the word I'm looking for? There is a thing to be said for that. And I don't know in what case and in what percentage of cases that sampling is done, if that's the motive behind it, right? Is to say, hey, this artist like never got their fucking due. We're gonna fucking like somehow sample this into our song because we're hot or whatever, right? It's kind of like the thing with I mean, even though it's not sampling, but it's like the soundtrack thing where Stranger Things played that fucking song that they fucking liked to them was great back in the 80s or whatever.
Oh, Kate Bush.
Yeah, that never fucking that didn't get shit, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna use this to like, hey, our show is super fucking hot, like this was a song we liked, like we're gonna fucking put it in our show, right? It's kind of like the same thing, but that's like the television version of it, I guess.
Yeah.
But that lady gets royalties off of that. Oh, luckily for her, she owned her music, right? Like, I don't know what the deal is with the chick who did When I Hear Music or whatever, but like, who knows? I know there's a lot of cases because I've seen like someone did an article about this, about talking about how like there's a lot of instances where, like I said, if an artist shares a label that owns that shit, or a management or whoever owns it, then it's like, oh cool, like they basically just get to use it for free. And it's like, well now yeah, you're highlighting someone else, but not really to their benefit. It's just you get to sample some shit for free. You get to kind of like coast or skate a little bit on like the creativity of coming up with a new beat or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're kind of, and I don't know what the case is. I'm not accusing Kendrick Lamar of that because I have no idea what the true, maybe he fucking really likes this chick who did it and thought this song was great and was like, man, like you said, I want it to get its due. And in that case, cool. Like, all right, I guess that's more acceptable than just straight up being like, oh, fuck it, let's just take this and throw it in there because it's catchy and we don't want to, we want to be a little lazy on this. And you know, I mean, Kendrick Lamar has made fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fucking albums over the last 15 years almost now. Okay. So, you know, that's a lot.
It is.
That's a lot. That's like one every couple years, all right? And maybe to some point, maybe you're just running out of ideas. I think that there's also a bit of that too. Not necessarily I'm saying specifically in this case, but overall in general when it comes to artists sampling shit, I feel like it's like, fuck, man, like, we're sitting in the studio, we gotta figure out what the fuck we're gonna do, man.
Let's throw a snippet of another song that everybody already likes. And let's ride the coattails of that and maybe throw some lyrics over it and we'll call it a day.
Yeah. I mean, like, I kind of feel like Linkin Park is kind of doing that now. Now, they're not sampling other people. They're like, they're not sampling themselves, but they're like kind of copying themselves from their early days. And it's like, all right, like, you guys have just run out of fucking ideas, I guess. Like, okay, I guess we're just restart the cycle here of hearing the same old shit we heard 20 years ago.
Yeah. I think overall I'm kind of I'd probably say I'm in that camp of believing that sampling can be problematic because it does seem as though you'd be staggering originality and creativity by just sampling overall, and I don't like that. I will always take something that's attempting to do something different than something that is not, and just recycling old ideas.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I'm just kind of prone to those things because I need variety, dude. Like when it comes to music, I just need variety. And when we hear a song like Squabble Up, and a lot of it, I mean, I actually haven't listened to the lyrics, but I would say at the very least, the selling point is that the sample is of Debbie Deb.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I don't want that to be the only reason that I end up liking that song, but they kind of got you, like they kind of got you hooked on it because of that fucking sample. But yeah, I mean, Prince the artist, Purple Rain motherfucker, had a very strong opinion about sampling, how he believed that it's just going to be a plague on music itself, that artistry will be more or less dead because, well, if we're just going to turn into a whole fucking world of just sampling, like where is originality going to come from? So, as long as people don't venture to do something different or really stretch their own creative limits, like we're just going to end up getting these songs that just keep dabbling in the past when, there was a time and place for that 40 years ago.
Right.
We could be taking chances in finding new music or new genres with the progression of time, but we seem to be going back to the well like every 30 years. Like The Weeknd with the song, that City of Blinding Lights or whatever that song, is that what the song's called? The Blinding Lights? Ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. Yeah. I mean, that shit's from like the 80s, dude. Like it sounds like Aha, Take On Me.
Yeah.
Like that's what we come to expect, that everything comes in cycles for the next 30, something that happened 30 years ago is going to come back and be hot, or 30 to 40 years or whatever it might actually be. But I don't know, man. Like we could be having new movements or new genres or new everything if people decided to take a chance. But if we reduce ourselves to sampling them, what are we doing here? Yeah,
well, I mean, again, like this song came out, that Debbie Deb fucking When I Hear Music song came out in 1984, man. Like, I don't even know if she's still alive. Like, is this lady still? I mean, she's still alive. It looks like on here she's 58. They gave her a writing credit on it, but like, I don't think she was actually fucking involved with the actual writing of the song, other than just that. Like,
they just
sampled it. I don't even think I think they just took this. I mean, I don't even think she did a new original recording. I think it was just they just took the fucking.
They did, yeah.
So like, I don't even think she was involved at all. Like, and there's nothing on, because when you look at like the whole thing on Wikipedia or whatever, there's no I like how it borrows this from this classic. It borrows a funky bass line from the 1984 classic 80s freestyle song When I Hear Music. So
talk about Squabble Up.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, it's borrowing. No, it like straight rips it. Like it's just straight sample. It samples it. Also, remember when I said how I got the feeling when we listened to that song of like this would be at like a lowrider competition or like some shit like that, right? Or like you see some dudes doing like the Lean Like a Cholo deal.
Yeah.
There's this song from Kendrick Lamar saying that it was using G-Funk, hyphy, and mariachi music.
Yeah, G-Funk.
Like
that's like shit from the, you know,
straight mariachi music. I was like, oh, that's why I get that fucking imagery in my head, because it's got that. There's something in there. There's like a background thing where they like threw in some mariachi shit or whatever. So or like I don't know.
Maybe I didn't hear the entirety of the song.
Yeah, maybe.
I've only listened to the like. I think I only listened to a minute and a half of it. Yeah,
I've been repeating the whole song, like, just listening to it over and over again.
Yeah, it appeals to Mexicans. What else do you want to say?
I'm just saying, I thought that was interesting. Like, I picked up, I said that. And I'm like, oh man, this seems like some shit that you would see there, and you know, whatever. But anyway,
shit, that was the '90s for most people, dude. For like weekends and shit, like
true.
You know, barbecues and parties and shit. That was a regular day for us.
Yeah, true story. Anyways, all right, I think that's pretty much my rant about sampling. You got anything else to add about it?
No, I think you covered it pretty well.
Cool. It carried us to fucking past 15 minutes, so we're good. I think that's good enough. Gave the people a minimum amount of shit to listen to.
Yeah, and if you want to get butthurt about something, you can go.
Yeah.
Well, you can listen to the rest of the episodes of Game Rage and yeah.
And I'm sure there's something we say that pissed somebody off. I mean, we should change the logo. Game Rage Magazine. There's something for everyone to be mad about. Like, you know?
That's the rage in Game Rage.
Exactly. We put the rage in Game Rage. Anyways, all right. Well, if you want to follow us on social media, you can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, at Game Rage Magazine. Like, follow, comment, subscribe. Additionally, Twitter/X, Game Rage Mag. Surprisingly, I will say the Twitter numbers, people keep following on Twitter. We're at like closer to like 150 or 200 people now, I think, last time I checked.
Are you rage baiting people?
I think I am. Like, I think that's what's doing it. And it's pissing some people off, but endearing others. Anyways, also, you can go to All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram and follow Adam and this show specifically. All right, well, that'll do it for us. Catch you guys on the next one.